Good morning. So, this weekend, obviously, we're going away to Otaki Combined Drive, and I thought instead of just recording section E for you to see what it's like, I thought I'd do a vlog as well. So, we are just about to go get the ponies out of the paddock and bring them in. It is 7:15. Dad wants to be on the road by 8. So, we have 4 ponies to get ready, 4 ponies to load. I need to fill the water on the horse truck. That's pretty much it. So, without further ado, let's get ready to go to Otaki. So we're all arrived at our friend's place at Otaki for the night. The boys are all settled into a lovely big paddock for them to stretch their legs on. It ended up taking us pretty much 6 hours bang on to get here. So yeah, we're settling in here for the night, and then tomorrow morning the race course is only 5 or 10 minutes away from here, but we can't go there tonight. But Dad's president of the ground jury for this event, so he needs to be here nice and early tomorrow morning to start inspecting the course, so that's why we're here on Thursday instead of Friday. Right, Dad's just cleaning out the truck, and then we will set up camp briefly for the night. We won't set up properly. We'll just make do with bare minimum tonight, and then tomorrow morning we'll head to the racecourse. So we're just here setting up, and I've been tasked with laying the cane course out. So that's what I'm doing this morning, and Dad and Noel are out putting up the marathon, and Bob and Wayne are just over there in the background putting up the dressage arena. So it's all systems go here at Otaki, and I'm just about to go have a walk through of these cones, and hopefully they will flow on nicely, and then we'll be able to put the numbers up once Alison gets back. Right, it's 2 o'clock, so it's time for lunch. Well, breakfast in my case, but I don't do the breakfast, so lunch. These guys are all happy munching away. They don't need any hay at the moment. But yeah, we're gonna long walk back to the truck. Well, not that long, 5 minutes, and have some lunch. And probably, I don't think Dad will have taken the carriage off yet, so I'll do that as well. My second grandchild was born today as well, so little granddaughter, 11:45 today. I'm so proud of Mason and Addison. Apparently the labour was pretty intense and pretty long, so she really battled through it. But yeah, I can't wait to meet her. I'm so excited. So that's my second grandchild. Good morning. Right, we are off to have a look at marathon obstacles. Dressage doesn't start today until 10 because we're at a working racetrack, so they have the trainers out using the track this morning until 10. So I'm going to use this time to go have a look at the MOs and figure out what I'm going to do with them today. So we will show you what that looks like in 2 seconds. Hey, right, so we're here at number 1 and I will take you through what I see. Okay, so that's our entry gate and exit gate, and we're coming from that direction, and these are our gates here. Now remember, it's always red on your right, so therefore white on your left, and once you've killed a gate you can use it as much as you like. So we have A coming down the hill here, so we've got to come down and through this one this way. We have B right at the end there, C next to it, both going up the hill, D next to that going up the hill as well, and then E coming down the hill. So the challenge of this particular one is obviously working out how we're going to get from A, which is coming down the hill, to B, because there's a stand of trees, this dump, a couple of cones there, and that's quite a narrow gap. So yeah, we'll take a look at it and I will walk it and take you along. Okay, so I'm coming from the start and finish flags at the moment, and I'm walking towards A. This is quite a steep hill. I'm not sure you can tell in the video, but this is quite a steep camber. So we're going to have to make sure that our groom is leaning up the hill to make sure that we don't topple over, and then we can come down into A. The alternative, if you didn't want to go up the hill, would be to go around the red A and come in here and 360 around the red A. But I think my carriage with the pairs will be fine to go up that bit of a camber and come down into A. So once we've established how we're going to get to A, then immediately you start thinking about how you're going to get to B. Now B, remember, is at the end of that line of pegs, and it's quite tight. So we either have the option of coming along the line here and going through this gap to get into B, or we can go outside over onto the tarsal and come around and come straight into B. So the thing that you would then think about is, okay, so what does my approach need to be for B to be able to get a good approach for C? I'm probably going to go straight in here and go around that white B, 360 around that white B, and then come back into C quite on a sharp angle. So I'll walk that line for you. So I'm going to try and come as close to the stump as possible without hitting it. I'm going to then try and have my inside wheel as close as possible to this red bee peg as possible, because there's not a lot of room to turn around. So I'm going to come on this line. I'm going to ask the boys to start turning quite early. So in terms of timing, when I'm starting to ask them to turn, probably before I even reach the red bee, I'm going to be asking them to be starting to come around, so that I can hug this white bee as close as I possibly can. And you can see then that I am able to hit up C on a very acute angle. So that's fine. So I'm going to hit C, and then I'm going to go past that D gate, because it's just way too tight to even try contemplating getting through that gap. That's not practical. And if you remember when I said once you've killed a gate, you can use it as much as you like throughout the course of the obstacle. Well, I'm going to come back through A, remembering that this is only MO1, so the boys are going to be full of running. I'm going to come back through A to pick up D. So I'm going to come a bit deeper on this turn, because again, I'm thinking about my entry to A as I'm thinking, my entry to E as I'm thinking about my entry to D. So where is E? E is over here, coming down the hill. So I want to be coming a bit deeper into D, so that I can come around and come as close to that red D as I possibly can to save time, and then on to E. Now E is on a little bit of a weird angle. It's not quite as easy to take the acute angle that I did for B and C. So I am going to have to come up a little bit on this hill. Not too much, pretty much as soon as I get to about here, so the midpoint of A, I'll be asking the boys to start turning into E, and hopefully take this on quite a sharp angle and out. Now, they're not on here at the moment, but every single one of these pegs is likely to have a dislodgeable element on top of it. So that means that you have to be really careful that you don't take out any of these pegs with your wheels, because every dislodgeable element that you take out is another 2 penalties, which is effectively another 8 seconds that you're getting penalised for in the obstacle. So that's MO1. I'll take a quick another look at this without the camera, and then we will move on to MO2. Okay, here we are at MO2. I haven't had a look yet, so I'll take you in for my first assessment of what I see. So, gone through the starter flags. I can see D. I can see E. Straight through between those 2 pine trees is B. Behind that other pine tree to the left is C, which means A must be this gate just behind over here. So let's head over to A. This looks like, from first impressions, it's going to be a jolly fast and open one. So we have got A here. Now B is coming back through the pine tree, and C is going towards the house. D is coming back towards the pine trees, and E is facing home, which is always a good thing. Whenever we design obstacles, we always try to have the last gate facing home as well. Okay, so in first impressions we would do A around the right-handed pine tree, through B, straight around the tree, through C, likely back through B, around the red D, wiggle through, and through E and home. So this is a fairly basic one, fairly straightforward, very quick. So what I would be focusing on in this with the boys is making sure that I make every stride count. So the start to A, we are full throttle. Around that pine tree we are full throttle, but I'm making sure that I don't blow out on the other side, so I stay nice and close. I hit B at a very acute angle, and I'm already turning around that second pine tree before I've even gone through B. I come around, I'm hugging the red C as close as possible, as not to cover any more ground than I need to. I come back, I go through B again, and then the same goes for D. So I've gone out a little bit so I can hit D at that very acute angle that I was talking about, and then setting myself up for E. So I want to be as close as possible to the red D so that I've got as much room to keep the momentum up to then come through E and then sprint home. So I won't walk this one with you. I think you can see from here what goes into this type of obstacle planning, and then we will head on to number 3. Okay, here we are at number 3. This one has some cones in it that have made a couple of chutes. So you can see as A is straight ahead of us, B is in that second chute going away from us as well, C is off to the side out there going away from us as well, and D is all lonely out there by itself. So the question's going to be, is it a right rein or a left rein turn? In this case, there also appears to be a gap in the cones here, which in all honesty is friggin' massive. I would have, if it was me, I would have probably made that more like a cone width challenge, because in all honesty, there's no way in hell that I'm not going to be going through there, because that's easy. So we'll be coming, if I back up 2 seconds, we will be coming at A on a bit of an angle. So we'll balloon out from the start and finish flags, come in here. This is likely to have a dislodgeable element on it as well, but we will come as close to the white A as I can without knocking it, pick the boys up, making sure that I don't knock the ball off. There'll be balls on these cones too, so there'll be a ball on that cone and a ball on that cone, but that's quite navigable. I can get through that gap, and I can also get through B. Now the other thing to think about is the risk over time. So going from A to B through this gap is very, very quick, and even if I hit one ball off, that's equivalent of 8 seconds. The option for me to avoid this gap and avoid potentially knocking a ball off is to go around the white A and come up and come through B, or go storming through A and then around C and into B. Either of those options is going to take me longer than 8 seconds, I think. So, risk analysis versus, what I'm going to get out of it. There's a very, very good chance that I'm going to get through this gap without knocking a ball off. So I'm willing to take that risk to get to B, and even if I do knock a ball off, I don't actually think that it's going to cost me anything over the time that it would cost me to go around A and come up the chute to B. So that's kind of what goes through my head when I find these type of situations. And then again, there's another gap in this chute to get through to C. Same principle applies. I honestly think that I can do both of these gaps very easily. Yeah, I think I can. And you know what? If I can't get it with the first pair, so the first pair that'll be going out will be my experienced pair. If I think that it's going to be a little bit too tight for my inexperienced pair, well then I'll loop. But I honestly think that this is very doable with both pairs, but we will see. I mean, I'm not going to be cantering, I'm not going to be storming ahead. It's going to be a good trot, but I still think that the payoff for making the gap is going to be more time efficient than doing the loops. And so even if I do hit a ball down, I still think the equivalent of 8 seconds isn't going to be any worse than doing loops. And then after C, because I won't have much pace on anyway, I'm likely just to come through the middle here, pick up D at an angle like this. Now this is quite a narrow gap, so I won't be able to take it as much of an angle, so I'll probably be quite a lot straighter on than those previous gates. But essentially all I know is I need to get back that way. So depending on what way the boys are leaning, depending on what way the carriage is going, I will just make a decision to go either left or right at that point. But yeah, so that is number 3. MO4, and it is drums with cones on top with tennis balls. So let's see what we've got. Right, first up I can see D and C both going away from me. I can see a red B, I can see a red A, and I can see an E gate. So what do we got here? We've got a B. Okay, so A, E, C, D, and B, which is where I'm standing. Okay, so the first thing will be coming outside this drum to get into A. We've got B behind us. So I'm going to come outside this drum with this cone on and try and come in a little bit closer to the white A, because I'm going to turn around the red A, quite tight turn, it's okay, and come back and go through B. So B, and then I'm going to carry on and go around this D drum and come quite tight here so not to waste time, and hit C. Now I can't keep on going round to get to D because E is in the way, but I can come out and go outside of the red E. And I'm going to stay on the same ring because D is going the same way. And I probably won't end up inside those drums, that drum again, in all honesty, but I probably will end up inside this one. So that's D. Red on the right, white on the left, and then E is coming the other way. So there's a very real chance that I'll probably end up going outside of C to be able to get a good line to come back into E. So that's going to look something like here and around, down through E. So red on the right, white on the left, and home. Okay, last one for the day, MO5. And this one is some panels set on top of quite a steep little embankment situation. So, race horse getting wet. We have A over in this set of panels. We have B in this set of panels. We have C over beyond the back there. We have D, and looks like we have E over here. Okay, so from the start and finish flags, which I'm standing in right now, it's a little bit of a turn back to get to A. But we also have the challenge of the bank. Now the golden rule is going up and down a bank this steep, straight up, straight down, especially if you're in a two-wheeler. So there's not that much of a bank on the other side, so it's literally just up the bank and over to give yourself room to get through A. From A to B, it's a straight through. So just checking that there's no other gates that are stopping us from taking the obvious one, and we will head straight through B. And again, from B to C it's a straight line. We just have a little bit of a D gate in the way, so we have to make sure that we don't go through that. C to D, all we're going to do is go around this set of panels close to the E panel and drop back into D like so. Keep coming around, so it's essentially just a full 360 around the red D, and then we're picking up E on the way out. So it's quite simple, quite basic. Because I've got a groom on the back of my four-wheeler, I'll be able to angle down that hill. And out we go. And that is that obstacle. So the only really tricky thing about this is managing the terrain, but otherwise all the gates are fairly straightforward and simple. Okay, so we've walked the marathon obstacles this morning. We are just waiting for the briefing for start of competition at 8:30 this morning. We wouldn't normally have a briefing on Saturday, but this particular ground is brand new to combined driving. We've never had one here, and there's a whole heap of rules that come with using a working racetrack. So hence why we've got a briefing at 8:30. Dressage will start at 10. Normally dressage would start at 8:30, so it's a little bit different this weekend, but go with the flow. And my dressage isn't until 10 past 1 and then 20 past 2, so I've got quite a long time to get ready. We're not allowed to tie the horses to the trucks here. The only time we're allowed to tie the horses to the trucks is when we're actually actively harnessing up and putting the carriage on. So there's a whole heap of cross ties just across from us where we have to tie them to get them ready and whatnot. So maybe around 11 o'clock I'll go get the ponies, bring them out, tie them in the crossbow, and start getting ready. I don't want to have them in the cross ties all day because it's not good for them, not good for them, and not good for their digestion systems. And other people will need the cross ties. There's not unlimited cross ties. So I'm not going to plait today. I don't think. The weather is pretty. It's raining, and I would rather just focus on having them nice and clean and not worrying about plaiting. This weekend, unfortunately, Henry and Flash are the only ones in the pair class, and Lockie and Bo are in the intermediate class. So I actually went out at this point and went to the dressage and cones to check on the novices to make sure everybody was okay and coping with what they needed to do. I grabbed some footage of some of the novices doing their dressage test in cones. So you can see there's a whole range of types of horses and ponies that are getting driven at these events. Right from these little minis that the novices are working out with, right through to the biggest horse of the day was Ra, who is 17 too, and he's warm blood in the training class. I unfortunately didn't get any footage of them going because I was getting ready myself, but it's a sport for everyone, and as you can see, it is very inclusive. No matter what type of pony you've got or horse, as long as you're safe, you can be involved.
Come on, George. Come on, George. You can do it. Come on, George. Go, Ollie. Go, Ollie. Go, Ollie.
So after watching the dressage for a bit, I moved over and watched the cones. Quite a few found it quite challenging. It was a small space. That meant that we had to be quite creative with how we laid the cones out. But there were some double clears, so it was great to see. And it's really great to see these novices really having a good time and enjoying themselves. So here we have little Ollie and Ruth starting out and tackling the cone course. So I will leave you to watch how Ruth gets on in the cones.
Top down, hear the sound of the breeze carrying us away. Dust in the rear view, free as a bird. This is our time, no matter what they say. Every mile behind only brought us here. Now the road is clear. Shotgun ride on my Friday night. Sunset fire burning in our eyes. Let's leave the past in the past and deal with it another day. No plans, just a cranked up radio. Ain't promising forever, ain't no end in sight. Girl, I'm loving the ride. Oh, I'm loving the ride. Oh, yeah, I'm loving. Oh, girl, you know I'm loving the ride. Oh, yeah, I'm loving. Oh, girl, you know I'm loving the ride. Oh, yeah, I'm loving the ride.
Very well done to Ruth and Ollie, who did a very good cone course. It's so great to see these novice drivers having such fun out there, and also great to see so much support for them. Um, I'll shut up, but you will hear when Ruth goes across the finish flag just how much support that she's got out there. So well done, Ruth.
Go, Ollie. Go. Go.
And then it was time to go get all my 4 ponies ready for their dressage tests, which I will put the footage from the GoPro up right now. So Bo and Lockie's dressage test was subpar. I've picked out some of the better moments from the test to show you as highlights for this. What you can't tell from the video is the dressage arena was incredibly rough, and it was on quite a steep slope down towards those trees that you can see on the right there. And it was the same for everyone, so I'm not making any excuses, but Lockie really struggled with getting his head around the slope in the arena, and that's something that we can work on more and more at home. I think getting back into the fitness paddock that we do our hill work on and doing some schooling in there will be a really good exercise for him. It was just very hard for him to balance, and he was breaking into canter when we were going up the slope, and then really struggling to kind of keep his regular rhythm when we were going down the slope. And also, there was just so much going on that his little brain kind of really imploded at times. In our walk, there was a fly, of all things, that landed on his belly, and he has such sensitive skin that he kind of lost the plot a little bit in the walk. But all in all, a great learning experience for them. They came away with a very average score, but like I said, a good learning experience for them, and taking the positives with it. How gorgeous does their coat look at the moment? I mean, look at that shine that they've got, and they've got um, no spray or anything on them. You can just see there Lockie broke into a canter as we were coming up the hill in our serpentine. So it was just a very disappointing test after we've put so much hard work in at home. But that's the part of the game, and that's definitely why I love this sport so much. Every day can present a new challenge. But all in all, I'm actually still very proud of these two. So onwards and upwards, and hopefully we get some better dressage out of them in the last 2 combined drives of the season. But then, after this dressage test, I should say, we went on to our cone course, which they did exceptionally well. So I will pop that footage up next. Listen. Straight. Straight. Come. Lucky come. Lucky come. Lucky come. Lucky come. Lucky come. Straight, straight, straight. Straight. Lucky come. Lucky come. Lucky come straight. Over a little. Come straight. Steady. Steady. Straight. Straight. Change. Straight. So I was really proud of how they did this cone course, because it was a really tricky tight cone course. We actually ended up double clear, so what that means is no tennis balls knocked off those cones, and we came under the time that we had allowed for our class. So they went through from the Saturday on their dressage score into marathon day with no penalties from the cones, which is always the goal. Okay. So I will leave you to finish watching Lockie and Bo's cone course, and next up will be Henry and Flash's dressage test. So quite a few people have asked for a breakdown of the dressage test, so I'll leave Henry and Flash's test as full, and I'll give you a bit of a commentary. So we are collected trot from entry up the centre line to X, where we then move into a working trot, where we are going to track right down towards those trees. So this is working trot around to one of the markers on the side here, where at the next marker we move into medium trot down that straight line there, right down to the corner marker. So that's a medium trot where I'm asking them to move forward, and back to working trot at this corner marker. We're then going to work around to the second marker on the sideline, where we're going to transition to collected trot again, and we're going to do a collected trot 20-metre circle. at V, we're back to collected, and we're asking them to bend around their rib cage on that circle. Following this circle, it's collected trot all the way up to the second to last marker on the sideline. So you can hear me asking them to stay up. So up is my aid for collected trot. And then what I'm wanting to see is a very clear transition from collected back out into working. So that's what that transition was. Working trot around the top of the arena. Now this is that slopey bit, so that it is sloping away from them quite a bit, you can see it there. And then I'm asking for an extended trot across the diagonal. Now I've had a few problems with Flash deciding to throw in a few canter strides lately in this extension, so I'm holding it a little bit back from where I would normally ask them, plus the arena was so rough that I couldn't really ask them for a true extension. Okay, we're back into working trot around the base of the arena, and then after this, from F, we're going to ask for a medium trot down the sideline. So this is now asking for medium, and back to working at this marker right now. Now this is a bit of a climb up the hill, and I had problems with the other pair in their test wanting to canter up that little slope, so I was a little bit cautious of that. And we are now going to ask back for a collected trot, 20 metre circle towards Henry's direction, so that's now, you can see moving back into that circle and collected trot. With the collected trot, we're looking for a shortened stride and a more compact body frame, but we're also looking for the rhythm to stay the same as what it is in your working and your mediums. So it's all about not going faster or slower, it's about shortening and lengthening the frame and the stride. And back out to working. So we're going to make a small box shape here at the next marker, and we're going to come into the middle of the arena and ask for a hold, followed by a rein back.
Stand, stand. Back up, back up.
That was a bit naughty there, Flash shouldn't have moved forward like that. And as you can see the camera angle, the carriage had no chance of staying straight with the bumps in its way, but that's fine, you don't get marked down for your carriage twisting with its rear wheels like that, as long as the horses stay straight. Now we're into our walk, and up into trot. Now unfortunately the next movement is a trot where we're asking them to stretch down and low, but with the arena sloping away like it was very difficult to actually get them to stretch down. I think they were holding it back a little bit because of the slope, so we didn't get very good marks for this stretchy trot, and I can completely understand why, because they didn't really show any downward stretch at all. Okay, back into working trot, where we're going to come back into the middle of the arena where we did the halt, and we're going to do a downward transition to walk. Now this is just straight up walk, but as we come around and we come off of the sideline and onto a diagonal, the movement is a free walk showing a stretch downwards. So you can see I've got them marching in what I would call a workman-like walk right now, and as I come off of the line at E and start heading towards that corner marker, I'm actually giving them a lot more rein and asking them to stretch down. So you can see their Flash is stretching down quite well. It takes Henry a little longer to realise what I'm asking him, But because the arena was sloping down here, I was a little bit cautious on them breaking up into trot, so I was a little bit conservative on how much rein I gave them. Back into that workman-like walk on the contact around the corner and moving up into trot at sea.
Yeah, I know it's a pull. Walk on. Listening.
Could have been a little bit straighter there. Could have been a little bit more out on the chain, so to speak. But it was a difficult corner to navigate. I'm not going to lie about that one.
Listening. Steady.
So this is just working trot.
Step out. Step out. Step out.
This is medium trot on a half 40 metre circle, followed immediately on the sideline back from medium down to collected, which is quite a difficult transition. And then we're also doing collected at a half 20 metre circle. And that's when Flash decided, well, if you haven't let me canter in my extensions, I'm going to throw a canter stride into my collection. He's a character. Yep, so we're doing a collected trot right now back to that corner marker, and we collected trot right the way round to our centre line, where we move from collected up into extended trot. Now I was super cautious about this particular point. After him just putting a canter stride into his collected trot, I was a little worried that they were going to canter up the centre line instead of trot. So I did hold them back a little bit here. As you can see, Flash is trying. Down into halt, and that is our dressage test done. And these two got the best dressage score of the day in the open classes, so I was pretty proud of them. Next up, we will have their cone course.
Another crack at it.
Okay, here we go on our cone course. So, like the dressage, I'll give you a bit of a commentary on what I'm doing and how I'm setting them up as we go through. So there's my bell, I can start.
We're not actually doing that,
Henry is a little bit over keen. So that was 1. 2 was on a slightly different angle, so I had to readjust. There's 2. 3 was hard Henry way, and then hard Flash way.
Straight.
Making sure I stay straight, and making sure my back wheels are through that cone before I turn. 4 was an oxer. As you can see, they're coming up fairly quickly. 5 is a single. Then it was hard Henry way after 5 to come back to 6. Now I had to be careful that I didn't touch number 4. There wasn't that much gap between number 4 and the trees.
Henry, come over, straight.
That was 6. 7 is another oxer. So that is easy to catch with your back wheels if you're not careful. 8 is an 8 A, B, C. That's A. That's B, all slightly offset. That's C. 9 is another oxer, back from us. Up the hill and down into number 9. 10 is slightly offset. 11 is an A, B and C with right angles between each gate. That's A. That's B. That's C. 12 was difficult to get to. It was right back on ourselves, and 13 is immediately after 12. 14 is in the middle, and 15 is hard back on ourself again. And 16 is the last gate, and as you can see, I really pushed them through it. And that was the cone course for Henry and Flash, and they did a double clear, so they had no cones down and they were under time. Just to finish your cone course, you always come back and you always salute the judge right at the end of it.
Thank you for doing it all day as well. Thank the stewards. Oh. Thank you, stewards.
Oh no. Okay, so on Sunday morning I got up early and I got everybody's harness and everything over to the cross ties ready to go because today was going to be a very busy day. We then headed out and did a final check of all the MOs and did a final walkthrough of what we were planning on doing on the day. And as you can see, a few others were out there with us. Just making sure that we had our plans in our head and that we knew exactly where we're going. The day had dawned gorgeous, so we knew that we were in for a lovely day. Okay, it's Sunday morning and I'm just off to get the 4 ponies from their yards. It's about a K walk there and back, and it's about 7:30 at the moment. My start time for Henry and Flash is 8:30, so we're going to be pushing things to get things done this morning. Have to be at the start 10 minutes before your start time for a gear check, so I need to be at the start by 8:25. So time to put A into G and get things done. I've been out this morning, had another look at the obstacles, had a quick look at where the compulsory gates are, and I think I'm all under control in that respect. My back steppers get in here at around about 8:15, so I hope to have the ponies all harnessed up, or Henry and Flash all harnessed up, ready to go so she can just step on. Alright, the next video you'll probably see is the marathon, so we will get straight into it.
Thanks, Cheryl. P1. See you soon. To get to the first gate, we've got to go up the bank a little bit. Yeah. So even though we're turning Henry's way, lead the way up, put your weight on the top side of it. MO1, number 5. Henry, come. Flash. Come. Steady. Hop. Hop. Flash, come. Flash, come. Keep going. Steady. Change. Go. Thank you. Sorry about the pig. Sorry about the pig, Coot. MO2, number 5. Henry, come on. Go up, go up. Go up. Go. Go on. Flash. Henry. Flash, hop, 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 hop. Good boy. Sorry, Donna. Thank you. Henry, you're going to be on the outside the whole way this time. So stretch out. Okay, MO3, number 5. Go! Go, 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 go! Flash! 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 Go, go! Flash! Go, Henry! Go on! Flash! Hop, hop! Henry, hop! Henry! 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 Hop, flash! Hop, flash! Go home! Henry, go home! Go! Go! Thank you! Good boy. That was a bit better. Good boy. Aisle 4, number 5. Right, and we're going Flash's way towards the hedge first. Steady. Flash. Flash up. Flash up. Go. Go. Flash come. Listening, Henry, change. Henry. Cup flash. Cup flash. Cup flash. Henry, come. Come. Cup. Boys, cup. Flash, come. Flash, come on. Boys. Boys. Go. Go. Thank you. And then across the road, Cheryl. This one. 23, perfect. MO5, number 5. Henry, flash. Yeah, she is. Henry, come. Henry, come. Up. Change. Come, flash. Hop, hop, hop. Go. Flash. Flash tight. Listen. Come. Go. Go. Boys, home. Home. Thank you. Ooh. Right, 26 to 29. Thanks, guys. See you in a bit.
And then we were straight back out there with Lockie and Bo for the marathon. So they did the same section A and the same section B as Henry and Flash. So I won't show you too much of that. But here's a small snippet of them from out on section A. We'll get straight into section E and the obstacles though. But yeah, it was a lovely drive.
See you soon. Number 9. Steady, come. Listen, listen, listen. Listen. Thank you. Come, Bo. Go. Steady. Lockie, come. Lockie, go. Push, 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 push. Push him. Change. Go home. Good boys. Thank you. I left the peg up this time for you. Yeah. It's just a car coming. Number 9. change. Keep coming, Lockie. Whoa. Lockie, come. Good boys. Home. Home. Go. Oh. Thank you. And walk.
And then it was time to get packed up, get horses fed, get them ready for the trip home. While the scorer did the scoring, prize giving wouldn't be too far away, and then we would be hitting the road home.
Yes, Lloyd's going to do this. Yes.
Well, this is too much stress.
No, it's not. Dressage is Emily on 48.29. Dressage is Donna Cherry on 48.86. And throw-off was Ruth Wallace on 51.14. We don't need to call everybody. Right, shut up. Sorry, Ruth. Okay. Marathon. Cones? Right, cones, buying cones. Then first again, Ruth Brown. It was her weekend. Second was Emily. And third was Wendy. And well done, novice drivers. Only one of you made a little course error, so well done. Not an easy course, you did well. Right, marathon. First, Emily with the flossing. Second, Ruth Brown. Third, Ruth Wallace. Okay, overalls. Would it come as any surprise it was Ruth Brown? Second, by very little, like 1.1113, so less than the penalty behind was Emily Thompson. And third was Ruth Wallace on 107. Second was Karen McLaughlin on a good score, 52.44. And third was Sarah Ogle on 55.11.
Just trying to hand me a first.
Sorry, I'm out of order. I'm out of order.
Okay.
No, that's alright. I've only got something else.
Okay, so Sarah Ogle, double clear. Double clear. Well done. Donna Tholen, just a little slow, but second.
Don't.
And Karen McLaughlin third. Well done. Just like you know, Rake, but it's not one of us. Okay.
Right, I will at the next one.
Okay, first on the marathon was Donna Tholen. Second was Karen McLaughlin. And the difference there is 56.16, 56.82. So somebody better learn to sharpen his pencil somewhat. Oh no, it's 46. I can't read. I should buy my glasses. Third, Sarah Ogle on 56.61.
Let me decant because I'm going to have overflowage.
I'll take you.
That's alright, Donna's coming back.
Let's see if I can get this one out.
Gave him to the pilot and he threw them out on it.
Okay. Second was Sarah Ogle on 111.27. And third was Karen McLaughlin on 126.26. Thanks, got a little Australian in the cones. Kathy got,
we don't need to.
we got a first in the cones on for Kathy and a second for Andrea.
And then I guess we're having a first.
No, let's make it 5 and 6.
What? I can't.
Okay, first on the marathon was Kathy with a great first overall on 101.57 and Andrea second on 116.51. So that was pretty damn awesome.